guys! Welcome to episode 5 of Dixon drawing class. That's a whole hand. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about collecting references part 2. Now there's 2 parts to this because collecting references is just so important. You want to collect references for every project that you do. Last week you were supposed to start a Pinterest board. That was your homework, or at least a picture file on your computer or whatever. This week I'm going to show you a little bit of my picture file and how I categorize stuff and kind of my process, and then we'll jump to our drawing our Lego guy and move forward from there. If you've just come through the video search on YouTube and you just want to go straight to the drawing the Lego guy, go ahead and skip to that in the video. The time code should be down below in the description. Okay, so let me show you my board. So the thing about Pinterest is that it's great because you can have as many boards as you want. So if you wanted to do a board for every project, you could do that, or like me, you could just do a general collection of boards. Some people collect boards for artists that they love, a board for each artist. Some people collect a board for each project. I don't do any of that just because that's probably a little bit more organized than I am. But also, I'm doing like so many projects at the same time that it's just easier for me to collect pictures into a folder on my computer in the same folder that I keep like my Photoshop file and the sketches and stuff inside. But for Pinterest, for just basic references, when I see drawings that I like, I put them on my I likes what they drew board. You can kind of see there's a whole collection of stuff. We have sketches, there's like book covers, there's lots of different things that I just really hit me right. So those are there. I have a board for storyboarding because that's what I do. Boarding, staging, lighting, angles is what it's called. And this board is a collection of things to help me to practice and get better. You can see lots of reference on perspective, lots of pushing angles boards. That's something that I need to work on, stuff like that. Okay, some other boards I have: typography, design, art ref. This one's probably my most popular board. A lot of times I don't even go back and reference it. I just, if I'm searching for a tutorial, I actually just search in the Pinterest pin bar. I will say one of the cool things about Pinterest is that you can search on all of Pinterest, or you can search just in your pins, and that's actually a really useful feature. Colors, patterns, textures, speed paint cache. I collect pictures that I want to speed paint. Speed painting, by the way, is something that we are going to learn later on in this series, and it's a really useful thing to know, and I'm really excited to teach you guys. Okay, so you can see we kind of have a variety of stuff, mostly women's heads, because obviously I like girls. I think they're pretty. Okay, paper art, animated things to try. This is limited animation stuff, mostly stop motion. This one's a good one to have. Architecture, props, environment. Just a bunch of different architecture elements and prop elements and things like that. Okay, so this kind of gives you an idea. Also, because a Pinterest or a picture file, like I said last time, could be a very personal thing. We also have secret boards down here, and you can make as many secret boards as you want. I have, let's see, a secret board for some writing projects I'm working on. A secret board with stuff that, like, gifts, you know, stuff that I'm like, I don't know if I want my followers to see that, clothes that I like. Okay, so when you do your board, you're going to be wanting, it might take a few months to figure out what exactly or how you're going to be splitting it up, or even if Pinterest is an effective way to collect your boards or search through your boards. A lot of people just do it on their desktop computer and search through Google and stuff. And so you just need to do what works best for you and what makes you a better artist and easy for you to collect and things. So we're going to kind of be using this process as we draw our Lego man. So if you had the chance, I don't know if you can see this. Here's the DDC sheet, which is a custom Lego guy. Now, if you can see, it kind of looks like the Minecraft guy. We did a custom Minecraft guy a couple weeks ago. This guy is actually much easier. Okay, you can see he's straight on, and it's actually going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so we're going to draw ourselves as a Lego guy. So let's you can print out that sheet, which is on my website. The link is included in the description below, or you can just follow along here. Okay, so you have your sheet of paper. Like I said, all you need for this class is a sheet of paper and a pencil and something hard to draw on, okay? Nothing else. You can draw on your iPad. You can draw on your phone. That might be a little bit harder, but you can pretty much draw anywhere, anywhere that's easiest. Okay, so like I said, in the earlier versions, what we do first is we draw the biggest shape, okay? And hopefully you've been practicing your rectangles and stuff. So this first one should be fairly simple. So if you look at it on the sheet that we have provided here, you can see, let's see, I can kind of mark it right about here. And it looks like it's almost 2 squares, maybe a little bit longer than 2 squares, okay? So that's a way to measure it, okay? And make sure that your lines are straight, make sure that they're parallel to what we've got here. And once again, I can't emphasize this enough, but always try to draw light. Try to draw light and try to not erase. Because when you erase, you know, there's still kind of a residue left behind, and it takes away the fibers and grains of the paper, and it's just kind of gross. All right, so try to do what you can. Draw light enough that erasing isn't a problem, but don't even erase yet, okay? You don't want to erase until you absolutely know for sure the lines that you're doing. Okay, do you have your rectangle? Now, one way to make sure, we talked about this before, but one way to make sure that your rectangle is on point is to take your paper, okay, and then hold it up to the light backwards, okay? And that you'll be able to see if you were able to draw it straight or not, because you're able to catch things a lot easier that way. So what I'm going to do actually is flip this rectangle, or yeah, rectangle. Okay, and I can kind of see now that it's a little bit bowed. All right, so we're going to try and fix that. All right, it looks like, I think it's close though, so that's good. Okay. Kind of close. Okay, this is something that you're going to be working on your whole life. So be sure to get it down now so that it makes your drawings not crooked in the end. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we have our rectangle. Now the next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to split that rectangle right in half. Okay? Sometimes it helps to measure it and mark it and then connect a line. We do a lot of that is marking things, okay? And then I want you to split it in half vertically. Okay, now once again, hold your paper up to the light. Make sure that this target that we just drew looks like it's splitting it completely in half. I think this is pretty close. All right, once you're done with that, go ahead and actually extend this line, okay? Okay. All right, as you can see in this picture, it goes all the way up here, and it's going to be the center of the head as well. Now the next longest shape, or the next largest shape, I should say, is the head. All right, and let's mark where the edges of the heads are in relation to this rectangle. So it looks like it just comes a little bit in from here. So go ahead and mark this, okay? And then draw that line up like this. And once again, make sure it's parallel to the edges of the paper. Okay, now it looks like we have a little space for the neck. So go ahead and mark that too. It goes up about this much. Let's connect that. Okay. Okay, and let's see, let's kind of measure this. We can measure it with our fingers here. And it looks like it's just a little bit more than halfway. It maybe goes to here. So you're going to bring that up. Mark it. Okay. One thing that also helps, it looks like it's almost a square, but not quite. It's maybe a little bit longer. Okay. So if you look at this and you say, okay, this is almost a square, maybe a little bit of a squished square that we've got here, then you know that you're really close. Okay. It looks like that's what we've got right here. Okay. All right. So far, I'm pretty happy with the proportions. If you are too, then let's draw a halfway line like we did, another target line through here, okay? That will help us as we measure out the face and things. That, okay? Great. All right, what should we do next? Let's do the hands and arms. Let's actually do the hands next. It looks like we've got them as the next biggest shape. Is either that, the little head knob there. Let's see, let's do the hands. We'll worry about the head knob later. Okay. Just take a minute and look at the hands and just like kind of measure how big they are. Kind of go over them. Looks like they're smaller than half of what we've thing, probably about that big. So if you want, you could practice that. And if you look, they're positioned almost exactly halfway here. So maybe just a little bit lower. Okay, and hopefully you've been practicing your circles as well, so that you can get some pretty swanky circles here. I think we've got here is a better size than here, so we're just going to tone this down just a little bit. Okay, so once you got the circles, let's connect the arm bones, the arm lines here. Okay, it looks like they begin right about here. You can mark them here as well. It goes down to here. All right. Kind of comes out, maybe not that much, maybe closer like this. All right, just curves a little bit. Okay, now if we look at this, I've marked a line through the elbow, and it looks like it's 90 degrees here. So perpendicular to this, and it looks like it begins almost exactly halfway through the square. So halfway through the square, go ahead and draw this marker, okay? And do the same for the other side, right here, okay? All right, we're getting close. You can kind of see our Lego guy in this. Let's fill out the arms. Okay, as you can see, his shoulder here goes down like this. Okay, let's do that to the other side. It looks like his shoulder starts to curve at the edge of his head. Okay, and then it bows out like this, slants out like this. It goes down to here. Okay. And we have a shirt which begins a little bit above the halfway line. Okay, so we just did this little guy's chest. Let's fill in the arms. Looks like they begin just below the curve of his shoulder here. You don't want to make his arm too big. You don't want to like bring it out to here. That would make him look very buff, but it would not be right. Okay, it would be about to here. Okay, and then like this. Okay, do the same for the other side. Okay, now if you look at this, it looks like it ends a little bit above the circle. And if you want to be super technical, go ahead and end it with an oval like this, okay? Because it curves up. All right. Now just smaller than the end of that is his wrist right here. You can go ahead and add that, okay? Now because the Lego hand has a sort of C shape or a cupping shape, we're gonna take a shortcut and we are going to create that C shape by drawing a circle in the middle of it, slightly smaller. Do it to the other hand. Okay, and then let's go ahead and make the ends of the fingers here. Okay, and now you can erase this away. Okay, see, that was pretty easy, right? It's a lot easier to do it that way than it is to draw it like this. Okay, so if you draw it like this, you can see it's not as smooth as this. It's all wobbly, it's uneven, whereas this is a lot more even and clean. Okay. Okay. We have our little Lego guy. What are we missing? We are missing the legs and we are missing the top of the head. Let's do the top of the head. If you take a look, it looks like it begins a little bit further than halfway through the square. So probably right here. So go ahead and mark the halfway and then just go a little bit to the side of it. Okay. You don't want to draw a super long knob like that because it's just pretty short. In fact, it looks like if we measured it, it would be maybe about halfway of what the head is, or a fourth of the way of what the head is, half of the half. Okay, like this. Okay, hey, this is starting to look pretty swanky. Okay, now time for the pants. Here's the halfway mark. If you look, the pants, let's see, the belt area, the waist area goes just below the halfway mark. So go ahead and mark that. Okay, and another thing you want to do is, let's see, if we marked this, it looks like about halfway in between the halfway mark, so the fourth way mark, maybe just a little bit higher. This is where the legs end, okay? And then you've got the hips here. Okay, so go ahead and mark that. And then I would cut that almost in half again. Maybe a little bit smaller than half, okay? And this marks the beginning of the feet. Okay, so go ahead and draw out your lines here. Draw this here, make sure they're straight. Okay, and there's a little bit of a gap. You can't see it because of the red line, but go ahead and draw the legs, the gap here. Make sure the legs are to separate the legs so it's not a mermaid Lego man. Okay, we are so close. Look at how close we are. It's looking awesome, guys. Let's curve up the head. Just around the corners like that. Okay, it looks like we have a little piece there. Okay, how about we draw his face? If you look at his face, his eyes are almost exactly in the center. Okay, they're really close. So go ahead and draw those eyes, which are just small circles. They're not even ovals or anything right there. And then we have a little smile that's just above half of that half, like that. Okay. All right, so this is our base. Now that you've finished that, we are going to customize it. Now for you, what you are going to need is a picture of yourself, or you can even use a mirror, or a picture of the person that you're going to want to draw. Okay, so that is your first reference that you need to have. If you're like me, I'm not going to be drawing myself. I'm going to be drawing one of my favorite superheroes, or I should say my favorite vigilante, which is Zorro. Okay, so let's go to Pinterest. Okay, we look up Zorro. Okay, so we get a lot of foxes because that's the Spanish word for fox, but we do get Guy Williams. If we look up Zorro Disney, we're gonna come up with Zorro. Here we go. Okay, there he is, Guy Williams. He's so dreamy. Okay, this is probably a pretty good reference pic. This is good. This one's good. Okay. We want him in his masked outfit. Sometimes you have to search several different keywords to get the pictures that you want. So I'm going to try Guy Williams, who is the name of the actor who played Zorro. This turns up a much better search. Okay, so don't be afraid to search several different things, and that's what we're going to have to do for this to collect all the reference pieces that we need. Okay, oh, look at him. He's so dreamy. Let's see. Well, okay, this is actually a good picture, so we'll choose this. Okay. So another thing that we're going to need to look at is different Lego faces and Lego hairs. Let's see. So we say Lego hair. Okay. And let's see what that turns up. Okay, it's not great. I mean, there's that. There's that. There's some stuff. Let's try. Let's see. Lego. Let's try Lego guy hair. And see if that turns up. I'm sure there's like a technical name for the little hair caps that Legos wear. This was bad. That's cool. Let's see. We're gonna say Lego hair cap, maybe? Is that what they're called? Nope, that turns up nothing. Let's just try Lego guys. One of the annoying things about Pinterest is that sometimes it autofills stuff for you. That's super annoying. I hate it. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. This is turning up a little bit more. Let's just take a quick look at this. You can kind of see how Lego things are constructed. We've got kind of, it's chunky, a big chunk with small indents. Okay, so you're not going to see a lot of spikes with Legos. All right, it's going to be very rounded and very thick. Okay, so for example, we're going to lighten that a little bit. If I was going to draw me, as you can see, I kind of have these bangs going on here, this hair. So what I would do is kind of just draw the basic shape here. Okay, like this. Okay, remember, it's kind of bunchy. Okay, and then just draw lines for the indents. Could probably get away with that. Like this. Okay, so that would probably be something that my hair would be like, okay? Now, if you're a guy and your hair is maybe, what is it, that kind of stylish thing that you crazy kids are doing now, which is a bouffant kind of thing, and then the sides are really kind of close cropped, it would probably be closer to this. Okay. All right, so you do hair like that. Maybe your hair is a little bit shaggier. Okay, so as you can see, like I'm just blocking out just this really basic shape. Okay, and then I'm kind of molding it like that. Okay, and that's what you want to do too. Make sure that it's covering this little knob on the head because that's how the hair attaches. Okay, so we've got that. We could go forever trying all these different hairstyles. You're just gonna have to look at your own hairstyle and figure that out by blocking out the basic shape, okay? All right, so for Zorro here, he doesn't have a hairstyle, he has a hat. So once again, we go to Pinterest and we look up Lego guy hat, and I bet you we're gonna turn up a bunch of hats caps that look like Legos, but not a lot of Lego hats. Here's one. This is great. Okay, so we have a top hat. Now Zorro, his hat is actually a lot shorter, but that's okay because this is still the basic shape. All right, so we take a close look at that. We go back to our drawing and we draw this Lego hat. Okay, so we have a rim. And it goes like this. Okay, pretty close. He does have a little band there. Okay, so we got his hat down. Then once again, you're going to be wanting to look at faces. So Lego guy faces. Okay, oh, this turns up some good ones if we take a look at this. Lots of different expressions. If you notice, the girls, they kind of have this lash thing going on. So if you are of the lady persuasion, you'll want to do this, right? Or do just one lash. Okay, and I'm going to give you another tip that will really make your Lego guy come alive, which is once you fill in the circle, erase a little bit, and that's your little highlight. Cool, right? Okay, so Zorro's going to be a little different because Zorro wears a mask. So I'm not sure what, let's see, Lego guy mask is going to turn up. It'll probably just turn up a bunch of masks. Actual mask, yep. There's that. I might have to take a cue from this Stormtrooper one. And just kind of piece things together. You do have to connect a lot of dots when it comes to collecting references and incorporating them. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to do this. Okay. All right. We're going to make his eyes white. Okay, oh, I like that. All right, he has a little bit of a mustache. But no nose. If you notice the Lego guys, they don't have any noses. Okay, I'm going to give him a little bit of a smirk here. There we go. Okay, now it's time for the clothes. look at Lego, guys. If we look at the clothes, they're just basically drawn on the front, okay? Nothing too fancy. We're not going to get into this. That's a little crazy. Okay, we are just going to draw. Looks like we have a Suicide Squad here. Looks like that they just draw things on the front, okay? So whatever you're wearing right now, go ahead and start drawing it. Zorro, he kind of has this. If we look back at our Zorro, this unbuttoned collar thing going on. So we're going to do that. Okay, and he also has a cummerbund. So I'm going to draw that. Okay. Okay, we are getting really close to finishing this Lego guy. Oh, I think Zorro has boots too. He does. Alright, pretty simple boots. Okay, now you may notice that you have props or something, like for example, if you like to draw or paint, you might want to put a paintbrush in your Lego guy's hand. It would look something like this probably. I don't know, that kind of looks like a candle, so you'll have to search out reference so it doesn't look goofy. For Zorro, he has a whip and he has a sword. Okay, this guy does not mess around. So I'm just going to draw that. Okay. Remember, big shapes, nothing that you'd step on and scream about. Okay, and we could just draw this little braid here. Okay, so that's his whip. I know it looks a little goofy. Now let's draw his sword. Okay, once again, his sword. It'll probably be child friendly. It is Lego after all. Okay, like this. Maybe it would bend forward like this a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, now that we've got that, if you're happy with your design, go ahead and start to trace it. All right, I'm going to flesh this out. Here we go. Okay, ta-da! All right, so as you can see, I maybe went a little bit above and beyond and colored in stuff. You want to color yours, but here you go. This is your Lego guy. Yay! Are you happy with it? Don't be afraid to try it with other people and other things. All right, do it again and again. Awesome. Good job. I'd love to see how yours turned out. It's time of the show where I answer a question because... Okay, so this question is just really short. A lot of people ask me why I wear a fingerless glove. There are a few reasons I wear a fingerless glove. The first one is because it makes it a lot easier to slide my hand across my Wacom, and it doesn't leave a bunch of like gross smudges and stuff. So, and I also wear it because I want to look cool. Is it working? Your homework next week is on this new Pinterest or your picture file, whatever. Start collecting a whole bunch of pictures of projects that you want to draw and things that you want to practice, okay? So you may know that you're very good at drawing anime, but you're not very good at drawing things like perspective and stuff. Well, go ahead and collect a bunch of pins on perspective, start a Pinterest board on perspective, you know, just really fill out your weaknesses and start collecting pins that will help you improve with that, okay? And then pins and pictures of things that you would like to draw and work on. Okay, so start beefing up your reference, basically. Okay. Next week, we are going to get into drawing faces and proportions and stuff, and we're going to draw Moana, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us for another week. Keep practicing, keep working an hour a day on drawing and drawing things that you want to get better at, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.